possible to earn more than the average with your Excel skills? The answer is yes, but there's good news and there's bad news. Now, which would you like to hear first? The bad news is no one is going to pay you more for knowing hundreds of keyboard shortcuts or knowing how to do massive formulas. This is not the most effective way of getting your boss's notice and making yourself more valuable. I'll tell you what is. You can by making other people more productive and adding value to them. So here are the 4 things you need. Make other people more productive, do something that will make them more productive, and not have to do work they really don't want to do. Remove a headache for your boss or open up an opportunity that will make him look good. 3, do something people don't expect because there's $100 billion industry saying you can't do this with Excel. But you can, and timing is everything, and the timing is now. We're coming up to the annual budgeting season, and right now, your boss and his boss are getting rather anxious about how this process is going to pan out. And this is where you get to show them. This is where you get to show them that you know a better way of doing things. But first, let's remind ourselves a mess that we have right now. You're going to be creating hundreds of budget templates to send out. They will need some parts to be pre-populated. That's a lot of work for you have to do accurately in a short space of time, and it could take weeks. You will gather them back and consolidate. Traditionally, you will create a pyramid of spreadsheets with external links, or you'll upload them to the ERP system to consolidate, and then you re-export to Excel for analysis and reporting. Either way, it's a huge pain. The consolidated reports need audit trail. You and the managers will need to trace the figures back through the links to see what they're made up of. You'll have no idea who changed what, and you will have dozens of versions of each operating unit's budgets to wade through to find out. If you do Excel correctly and efficiently, you don't have to do any of that. And here's how you're going to surprise your bosses and create value right across your organization. Listen. So this is what you're going to surprise your boss with. So here's the scenario. The 2 things they're saying you can't do with Excel is, one is scalability and the second is consolidation. We are going to kill them both. In this demonstration, your company has 400 shops in 90 cities in 50 countries and in 4 regions in the world. There are over 100 budget holders to complete the budgets bottom up. Now that is enterprise scale, right? With this method, these numbers could be 10 times as many or even 1,000 times. This is what they're saying you can't do with Excel, and we're going to do it right now with Excel. And just to prove the point, we're going to do it with just 1 sheet. There's no special add-ins here, and the file is 100 kilobytes or less, and that is small. You won't send them 400 spreadsheets that take weeks to prepare. You will send them just 1, like this one. And it's blank. The budget holders will find their shops from these drop-downs, and then they click Get, and now that spreadsheet has that pre-populated data. You have immediately saved weeks of work. Now they complete the budgets in the usual way, and they click this button, Put. That's all. They don't send the spreadsheets back to us. We don't receive 400 completed spreadsheets and have to wrestle with them. But if they don't send the spreadsheets back to us, how do we consolidate? Easy! They simply select the subgroups, let's say Europe, and then click Get. There it is. No manual work, no work at all. It's already done. This is what they're saying you can't do with Excel, and this is why it's going to be so surprising for your boss. But the thing that's going to surprise you is when you find out how easy this is. It is very simple, and there's more. You can restrict the parts of the group that the budget holders can access by getting them to log in like this. Batman can only do the budgets for Gotham City. You manage access rights through an admin spreadsheet like this. Audit trail. What are these numbers on the consolidation, or where they come from? Simply select the cell, and here you have a breakdown of that number, and break down further like this, right down to shop level. So just to remind you, this is normal Excel, there's no special add-ins, and you can have these techniques in the spreadsheets that you already have. So your boss wants to see who changed what. Now, this is the kind of stuff that with spreadsheets you simply do not expect. You can double click on any of the figures at shop level, and here you have a list of how that figure changed, who changed what and when. And if you want to look at the budget version that they submitted, double click, and here's the old version. None of that hunting through dozens of spreadsheets that say final, 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 and final, final, extremely final. How does this work? Well, we have separated the data from the spreadsheets and located it somewhere central, so that all the spreadsheets can access the same data. All the data is now in the same place, so we don't need links to consolidate. Anything you can think of, you can accomplish with this methodology with Excel. And like I said, it's normal Excel, there's no special add-ins here. I'm only doing this on one sheet just to prove the point that it is easy. As you can see, there is more capability in Excel than most people think. Much more than systems costing millions. And this is something you already have, so it costs nothing. Who would have thought you can do that with spreadsheets? On the webinar, I'm also going to show you how Microsoft give you a credit of $100 per month so that you can learn this stuff. That's $100 each month. So what have we got here? Create value right across the organization. Remove a headache for your boss and show him some opportunities that he may not have thought about. And do some stuff that nobody expects. Everyone's saying you can't do this with Excel. Excel's a spreadsheet. Prove them wrong. And what's that going to make you, huh? Okay, and then the timing. The timing is now, and there are people scratching their heads right now wondering, how am I going to do this? So if you're curious about what you've just seen, come and join us on this webinar, and we'll take a deep, not just a deep dive, we'll take a deep dive into how this all works and how it all fits together. Come and join us and we'll have some fun. I'll see you then.